I'm so deep down, and it's not a lie that I die. I can't hide.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Arlyne Sanjines. I am coming to you guys from my kitchen because I'm going to be sharing 5 fall soup recipes. So I will also put timestamps down below so you guys can just go to whichever soup you want to look at, because I feel like this video might get a little lengthy. I've been filming this for the past like 2 or 3 weeks, so we've literally had soup like every single week. These are all my favorite recipes. They're all super easy. You keep in mind that while I do try to make them healthy, sometimes I don't use the absolute best ingredients, so just like I said, tweak it however you like. Tweak it to make it healthier, to make it less healthy, do whatever you want. But if you guys end up enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and let's jump into today's soup. So I'm gonna start with the easiest one, just because this is something that I feel like most people might be aware of or might know how to make, but at the same time, for me, I only learned how to make this a few years ago when I first started cooking. So if you're new to cooking, new to soup making, crock pot, you guys, is gonna be your best friend. This is literally the easiest soup. It's gonna take me like 15 minutes to prep and throw in here, and then you literally set it and forget it. So as far as the things you'll need, I'm telling you, this is beyond easy. So I am gonna use some of this Rotel. This is just the mild diced tomatoes and green chilies. I am also gonna use some dark red kidney beans, and then also just some regular kidney beans. These ones say chili beans, so they do have some spices added to it. I am also gonna add a little bit of chopped onion, because that's just gonna give it some delicious flavor. Even though I'm not like the biggest onion like eater, keep in mind, like, you're not gonna taste it that much. It's honestly gonna give it really good flavor. Some ground turkey. I have also done it where I just throw the ground turkey directly into the crock pot and it will cook and it'll be pretty delicious, but it kind of grosses me out when it's all like chunky and like raw in there. So I'm gonna brown it for today. And then also lastly, I'm gonna chop up some of these bell peppers and throw all of these in. So get some veggies in there. You can also add carrots, add other veggies, but this is gonna be super simple. And yeah, let's get to cooking. Actually, I lied before we get into the cooking. Keep in mind, one of the main things is to add a bunch of spices. Honestly, like, I've been kind of just figuring out which spices I like, what they do to the food when I started cooking a few years ago. So I like to add a ton of them. I feel like mixing them up just makes it taste so good. So I am adding like some paprika, some cayenne pepper, some black pepper, lots of pepper for this since it is a chili. And then to put into like the broth, I'm gonna do some of this tomato bouillon with chicken flavor. This, for example, is not the healthiest. I'm sure there's other healthy options, but this makes it taste absolutely delicious. So I am gonna add a little bit of this. And then one of my other little ingredients that I love to add to like soups and a lot of foods, honestly, is oregano leaves. I feel like these are really like potent and strong, and they make your food taste so good. Okay, let's start. Okay, so I'm gonna start by just browning up the turkey. This is only gonna take like 5-ish minutes. Okay, that's it. That literally took less than 5 minutes, so it doesn't have to be fully cooked, but now we can throw this into the crock pot. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut up all my peppers. So now everything's ready to go, I can throw it all into the crock pot. I'm gonna start by putting in about a cup of water. I might add more. Then I'm gonna add my turkey breast. I'll add some onion. All the bell peppers. Go ahead and add the tomatoes, all the beans, and then lastly, all the spices. I am gonna add more water since I just eyeball it. Then I do mix it all up before setting it. All right, that's it. You can close it up, set it for 4 hours on high, and then it's gonna be ready and you have to do nothing else. 4 hours later, the soup is all ready, so I'm just gonna pour it into my bowl. So Weston added some cheese to his. He just got home from work.
Always gotta add the queso.
Uh-huh.
And then you also gotta add the moves to it.
Okay.
Okay?
You guys, he's very easy to please, so I already know he's gonna say it tastes
You ready? Mouth is watering.
Unless you're gonna fake it. It's hot, huh? Don't be ridiculous.
Just kidding, it's so good! That's good. That's good. That's good. Make it so good you want to dance. Dance. As it goes down your belly, you shake it in. Shake it in. Shake it in.
Let me see. Let me see what it looks like. Let me see what it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
It has cheese in it.
Get the cheese in there.
Ooh.
And you pick it up.
And you love tomatoes.
Oh, I know. That's why I probably like this one, because it's more tomatoey.
Yeah, I had to pick out the tomatoes because they give me such horrible acid. But I know you like them and it makes it taste good. Good.
I want to eat this outside.
Yeah, in the cold.
Because it's like fall right now.
And then we can cuddle. Should we sit on the front porch with all our fall decor?
Mm-hmm.
And pumpkins?
And just eat. Look at our neighbors. Hey, Bill. Hey, Jill. Weird that your names are really similar. Did you guys plan that when you guys met each other? I don't know.
You're ridiculous, babe.
But did you have to name your daughter Hill? So Bill, Jill, and Hill? I don't know. This is how you keep the calories off. You eat it, but if you dance it, the calories don't stay on.
All right, guys, another day, another soup. Today's soup is a white bean kale chicken sausage soup. That's kind of a mouthful, but the main things you're gonna need are some kale. I do throw the entire bag in. It looks like a lot, and it is a lot, but it kind of soaks in, and it tastes really good. I personally love it, so I'm gonna do kale. I'm gonna do 2 different beans. I'm gonna do some garbanzo beans and then some white cannellini beans. Also, like I said, some chicken sausage. This one is just a mild Italian. There's so many different flavors though. You guys can grab whatever flavor you like. And then also for veggies, I'm gonna do some zucchini and then again, some yellow squash. I love the taste of these. And then also add some onion in there for a lot of flavor and a potato because again, potatoes are delicious. And then yeah, I'm gonna throw it all into a pot basically. I'll show you guys how I do it. Let's get to cooking. I'm gonna start by peeling and cutting my potato just because this always takes the longest to cook. I'm gonna throw the potatoes into the water. Okay, so I have 2 pots going just because I know I'm gonna make a ton of soup and the kale takes up so much space. So in the water, I just added the potatoes and I've also added some of this chicken bouillon. I use this literally for like everything, especially soups. Instead of buying like a chicken stock or a vegetable stock, I'll just put some of this in there. So that's all I have in literally both of these. I will add a ton of spices in just a bit, but that's what I got so far. I'm also gonna add some of this diced red onion. For spices, I always love adding a little oregano, some garlic salt or garlic powder, Italian seasoning. This has a little more oregano in it. A little bit of thyme leaves, and then some ground white pepper. Okay, so now I can move on to my mild Italian chicken sausage. These are already fully cooked, so I'm just gonna add these towards the end. I feel like I'm gonna have too much if I do them all, but then if I don't do them all, like they're just gonna go to waste. Okay, that's been going for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and add my zucchini and squash. Okay, after another 5-ish minutes have gone by, I'm gonna go ahead and add the sausage. I'm also gonna add the garbanzo beans and the cannellini beans. This is what it looks like now. The only thing left to do is add the kale, which I will add when there's about 10 minutes left in the soup. It's been going now for probably 25 minutes, so I'll probably add it in like 5 minutes. Okay, so there's about 10 minutes left in the soup. I'm gonna add the kale. And that's pretty much it. Just bring it to a boil and then let it simmer for a few more minutes just so all the flavors like soak in together, and you've got yourself a healthy and delicious soup. You can obviously omit like the potato to make it a little healthier, but for me, I feel like this is delicious. It's well-rounded and I love it. Okay, so today's soup of the day is a simple, creamy pumpkin soup. If you guys noticed throughout the whole video, there's only one creamy soup, just because for me, I personally prefer like a chunky, substantial soup. This is literally, I feel like I'm drinking like a warm smoothie, but of course I had to include super easy pumpkin. Like I love pumpkin. So what you're gonna need is some pumpkin puree. You can also literally like take your own pumpkin and make it yourself, but I feel like this is just the easiest way to go about it. So I like to buy the canned one. Also some shredded carrots, some onion, some heavy whipping cream, some bacon, and then also you can do croutons, but rather than croutons, I'm doing these rice thins and I'm just gonna crumble them on top of the soup. Oh, and then of course, a ton of spices. Okay, I'm first gonna start by cooking up the onions a little bit. I did put them in this food processor because I don't want chunks of them. Then in this pan, I'm gonna cook up the turkey bacon. So you just wanna cook these until they're opaque. Once they're opaque, you can add the carrots and some garlic. Once that has softened, I'm gonna add a little bit of this ground cloves. Okay, so now that's ready to transfer into this pot. Okay, so now you can add chicken broth, but for me, I'm gonna add water and the chicken bouillon. All right, now we can flip my bacon. I'm also gonna add all the spices like thyme, black pepper, parsley, a lot of stuff, salt, garlic. So while I bring my soup to a boil, I'm gonna take my bacon and cut it up into like tiny little bits. Okay, now that I've brought it to a boil, I'm gonna add my pumpkin puree, not this entire thing. This was just the only size they had. About half of it. Then I'm also gonna add about half a cup of the heavy whipping cream. I ended up letting it simmer for another like 10 minutes. Then it's all ready. You can pour yourself a bowl. And then lastly, garnish it with some bacon and some of the rice thins. Alright you guys, so today's soup of the day is a white chicken chili. This one might be my favorite. I know it's Weston's favorite. Weston's not even a soup fan, but this is like his all-time favorite meal that I make, so you know it's a good one when it's literally like my husband's favorite, and it's pretty healthy. So all the things you guys are gonna need is some corn. I just got no salt added, whole kernel corn, because I like to add my own salt, so I want to be in control of how much salt is in my soup. Then some cannellini beans, which are just white kidney beans. You're also going to want to eat more white beans, which are these navy beans, low sodium. Also some mild diced green chilies. You can also do some diced jalapenos. And then also very important, some chile verde sauce. This is great for slow cookers, which I will be using my crock pot. And then at the end, I will be adding some of this whole milk yogurt. So instead of using cream cheese, I just like to use whole milk yogurt because it's a little bit better for you. You can also do like another milk alternative kind of yogurt if you want to do like something totally dairy free. And then obviously you're going to need some chicken breast, which I will be cubing up. And then at the very end also, I am going to add a little bit of these tortilla chips just as a garnish. So these ones are topos made with quinoa, chia, and maca. So that's everything. Let's get to cooking. Okay, step one is to dice up the chicken. I'm gonna throw my chicken into this pan, and normally I would not do this at all. Like, you do not need to brown the chicken. The only reason I'm doing this is because I'm strapped for time. So browning the chicken first is obviously gonna allow me to have the slow cooker on for only like 3 hours as opposed to 4. So I'm not gonna fully cook the chicken, but I do just wanna give it a head start. So I'm probably going to cook it like halfway, maybe a little bit more. I'm gonna throw my semi-cooked chicken into the crock pot. Keep in mind, I never do this, honestly. Like, I will start my crock pot at around noon so it's ready for dinner, but today I just was so strapped for time. Like I said, that's the only reason I cooked the chicken. Otherwise, I would just throw it in completely raw after I diced it. Then I'm gonna throw in about 2 cups of water. You can also totally do a chicken stock, but just adding this chicken bouillon, which is going to give it that same flavor, and I think makes it delicious. Okay, so now we can add the chile verde sauce. Add the corn. The green chilies. These are so important. They give it so much flavor. And I'm adding the 2 different types of beans, these white navy beans. So these ones are just smaller. And then I'm also gonna add the white kidney beans, which are a lot bigger. Last but not least, I am gonna add a few spices, some garlic powder, a little bit of ground white pepper, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of paprika, and then maybe a tiny bit of oregano, and that's it. Now I'm gonna mix it up. And I'll go ahead and set it to a high of 4 hours. Okay, so there's about 30 minutes left on this, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the yogurt now. I'm just gonna do like a big scoop like this. I'm not exactly measuring it. This is just plain yogurt, and now it's gonna give it that creamier texture, and it's not as fattening as a cream cheese. That's it, now it's all done. I'm gonna go ahead and serve it. Also, you guys, I totally forgot to get cilantro. I feel like if you garnish it with cilantro, it tastes so good. Then I'm gonna crumble a little bit of these tortilla chips on top. Very, very last step, optional, add some lime. I love everything with lime. And that's it. Look who's home.
I'm home.
Can you smell it?
It smells good. It smells Mexican, sort of. Is
You
it
think
a
so?
Mexican
You think
dish?
Mexican?
Yeah.
All right. Come and look.
Is it what I think it is?
What do you think it is?
Is it the white chili?
Yeah!
My favorite, my favorite, my favorite, my favorite.
I told them it was your favorite. See? Look at that reaction. Yummy.
Oh, it smells like...
Smells good, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so today's soup is a minestrone. So yummy. A lot healthier than going to Olive Garden and getting like a minestrone soup there. The main reason being that as opposed to using like regular pasta noodles or shells, I'm gonna be using these Banza shells. They're made from chickpeas. This does have a decent amount of carbs, but I'd rather eat my carbs through like chickpeas as opposed to like a pasta flour. So yeah, I'm gonna be using these. These are gonna be like the main guy. And for me, chickpeas are delicious. So these are really, really good. I enjoy them. Then I'm gonna do some onion, zucchini, and I also got yellow squash. You can do all zucchini, but I like kind of mixing it up. So I love, these are like my favorite veggies ever. I'm also gonna add some spinach. You're also gonna need some tomato paste, kidney beans, carrots. I just got colorful ones because why not switch it up and use colorful carrots. And then just 1 potato. This part is completely optional. I thought of like not using any potato, but then I thought potato is just so good and it's gonna bring your soup up a notch and make it that much more delicious. But again, if you're really, really watching carbs, exclude the potato. Also, you could add more tomatoes because the recipe is like a tomato-based soup. But for me, I've mentioned this, I have horrible, horrible acid reflux. So the less tomato that I can use, the better, because my acid gets really, really bad with tomatoes. So even adding this, I already know it's gonna be bad, but I got my Tums handy. I literally have like a huge thing of Tums ready to go. Let's get started. I'm gonna start with actually prepping. I'm just gonna cut all of my veggies up. I'm gonna cut these up, cut this, cut my potato, and then also I'm gonna take all the stems off the spinach. I'm taking the biggest pot that I have. I feel like this is not gonna be enough. I know all my veggies are not gonna fit in here, so I might have to do 2 of these. So I'm gonna put about 2 cups of water in here. The first thing I'm gonna add is the potatoes because these take the longest to cook. I'm also gonna add the onion because they're gonna give this a lot of flavor. So this is what we got right now. We got the potatoes and the onion. I'm also gonna add the tomato paste. Okay, who am I kidding? I already know it's not all gonna fit in this one pot here. I'm also gonna add salt, pepper, and a few spices like oregano, ground white pepper, some Italian seasoning, a little bit of cumin, and yeah, oh, and some garlic powder too. go ahead and add my zucchini and squash carefully. Oh, and the carrots. I forgot they were down there too. Okay, this is what we got going on. Okay, sorry guys, the fan automatically turned on. I'm gonna add the beans. And then last but not least, I'm gonna add the Bonza chickpea shell. Then when there's about 5-ish minutes left, that's when I'll add the spinach. It's so good. Look who's here. Try out your soup.
All right.
It's soup week.
Soup week. Okay.
Is it really good?
Okay.
You really like it?
I do, I like it.
Familiar.
Minestrone, my homie. What's up, Minestrone? You my homie and you're going in my tummy.